Hey everybody, my name's Joe.
I am also Joe.
Welcome back to SNES's Life for another recap show. This is recapping week 8, I do believe.
This is 7 or 8?
This is 8, because we've gotten through 40 games now.
It's a lot of games.
There's a lot of games. So, we're going to jump straight into it. And our first game for this week was Pit Fighter. So, what an ass point. I picked the loop and immediately says game over, because my god, that's about where this was.
I don't think I've ever seen you quit a game
so
out of frustration.
This game was so bad, dude. Graphics.
Not good. I mean, they were okay if they were just standing still, but...
Dude, look at it.
It was
it's
very,
so rough.
very clunky.
Sound.
Not good.
Not good.
There was I guess there was music?
Not much. And the sound
was
just
really quiet, but yeah.
Gameplay.
Very bad.
Terrible.
Very.
The controls were so bad.
It was... The controls were bad. It was too clunky. And the AI is always set to ridiculously hard.
I get that when this game was made, it was probably groundbreaking because it came out 1987. This is just a port from an old arcade game for Atari, but oh my god, it was ridiculous.
Not a good port.
It should not have been ported. It should have died where it was. Because everything right up to here made me look at it and go, okay, it's not amazing, but they got real actors to stand in almost, which is kind of how they did the game. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And gameplay. Terrible port. I gave it a hard thumbs down.
I gave it a thumbs down as well.
It's such a bad game.
Not good.
Not worth seeking out. Game number 2, PGA Tour Golf. We had my dad, Joey's grandpa, join us for this game because this is the golf game that I grew up playing with him. I mean, it's golf.
Yeah, not much to be said other than it's golf.
Yeah. I don't think the graphics were particularly any better than the other golf games we played.
I don't think they were any... Well, I think it has more detail on the character.
Yeah, the shading on his pants and shirt's pretty good.
I think the character is more detailed. The layout of the screen, I think, was better than the other ones we've played.
Yeah. I think the graphics were roughly the same, if not maybe a little better. The sound was pretty much equal. It's another sports game that needs music. The gameplay, though, I think that this one, the hitting of the ball was easier and more intuitive. So the other games had a circle you had to fill.
Yeah.
And then one of them even had this zippy-zabby zigzag dot that went around it. And then that was dependent on whether you chipped or sliced the ball. So that was kind of annoying. I don't know. We gave it a thumb up. So I gave it a thumb up.
I gave it
You also gave it a thumb up.
And then Grandpa gave it a thumb up.
And Grandpa gave it a thumb up.
It was 3.
Because, it's PGA Tour Golf. Solid game. Worth looking up if you like golf. Next, Smartball!
All right.
So this is a neat platformer that was an interesting concept. I played it for one day and then I was gone for 2 days.
So it was mostly me.
It was you and you had guest hosts. So what did you guys think of this game?
Well, the first thing, let's go over what Smartball is. You play as this slime-looking creature named Jerry. You're going to be crowned king by your father, and your brother, who's jealous of you, turns you into a slime and steals your girlfriend with the help of a magic wizard dude.
Bad.
And so you're going through the levels trying to turn back into a human. And at the end of it, you're like, I forgive you because that makes sense.
So you did beat the game?
I did beat the game.
Okay.
The graphics weren't bad by any means. I don't think there was really any slowdown at all.
Yeah.
Which is fortunate.
So a lot of these games many of the games have had a little slowdown.
It isn't the fastest game, especially if you are like me and farm your ammo.
Which is what's happening in this clip.
Right. But it's useful because you can hold up to 9, and then every time you get 10, it gives you a heart. Which is a big deal because you lose hearts really fast. But The graphics were good. The sound was pretty good.
Yeah.
It had different music for each type of level. So each of the green overworld levels had the same music, but like the underwater levels had different. The ice level had a different music. So the music was good. Gameplay was pretty good. It's a platformer with an interesting idea. You play as a slime. You can stick to walls, squeeze into pipes, do all these other things that it would make sense for a slime to do. And so I gave it a thumbs up.
Now, who gave it? I guess
at the end of it, Griffin.
Griffin was there with you.
Was there with me, and he gave it a thumbs up.
He also gave it a thumbs up. Now, who played it with you on the second night?
My friend Matt.
Matt, what did he think of it?
I don't know. I don't think Matt was a huge fan of it.
I was a little less sold on it.
But I don't think he disliked it.
Okay. Yeah, I think the graphics look good. I remember the sound being decent. The gameplay was okay. Nothing... It was nothing standout amazing to me, but I could definitely see giving it a thumbs up. So, Smartball, that one's worthwhile. Game number 4, WWF Super Wrestlemania! Sunday! No? Not flying on us here?
I went into this game, and it doesn't look great.
It doesn't look great.
And as soon as I punched, it's a little bit chunky, and I was like, oh, I'm not looking forward to this. But it is actually surprisingly a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Especially because apparently you hit buttons faster than me.
Well, I'm sure, that had to do with it.
Yeah, so this game, definitely, I think it has a lot more in it for fun than it first appears. The graphics are a little dated. There's definitely some blocky movement there. Yeah. That's okay. It's not fully integrated everything. You can't climb the bottom turnbuckles. You only climb the top ones. The moves are a little hard to get right.
It's hard to line your characters up.
Yeah.
That's the only really difficult part.
Yeah, and this is one where you really do have to kind of line up to hit each other. So the graphics were okay. The sound was average. There was no music again, but there's a lot of and then the smack noise of hitting each other. There's music at the end
when someone won.
Yeah, and then the thump of someone hitting the ring when they hit the ground. Goosh. So the sound wasn't great. The gameplay, like we said, the lining up thing was kind of hard to do.
There's not a whole lot of replayability either. There's no story to it.
Yeah, no.
It's just specifically you go in and you fight.
You wrestle.
And that's it. And it's fun for especially if you're playing against your friends, but if you want a game with that progresses, don't choose this because there's no progression.
No,
it's just the same thing over and over.
It is a fight game. It's a wrestling game. It's a beat 'em up. The fun of this game, in my opinion, entirely comes out of the two people playing.
Two people.
Yeah. So Joey, who went into it not caring about it, at the end of it was laughing his head off because he was crushing my soul.
Oh, dude, my arm hurt so bad.
And yeah, the button mash. Oh, button
You
mash.
have to press buttons so much faster.
Oh, dude.
It just makes your entire forearm sore.
There's so much of that coming, too. Just you wait. There's so many fight games for the Super Nintendo. So in the end, what'd you rate this?
I gave it a thumbs up.
Did you? You were the one that gave it a thumbs up?
I gave it a thumbs up.
Yeah, so I gave it the thumbs down. My issues with it is I couldn't say... I know there is another wrestling game coming up that's also WWF that's better. This one is just a little too chunky for me as far as the movement. It's not a smooth control. It was kind of hard for me to get on. And then, yeah, you just crushed my soul at it, dude. It's just funny. So 1 up, 1 down for WWF Super Wrestlemania. Finally, game number 5 for our Week 8 recap. Raiden Trad, which is a strange name, but exciting in the fact that this is, again, a 2-player simultaneous game co-op.
I will say, playing co-op made it so much easier.
Yes.
Ridiculously so. That was the first level boss that we just
smoked
saw,
him in
and we destroyed
half a second,
yeah. It also is very generous with power-ups.
Yes, it was. It
which
threw
is
power-ups at you.
So much different than
compared to any of the others. Every time, every 10 enemies, there was a power-up on screen.
I wouldn't say it was exactly easy, but it wasn't super hard.
Yeah, some of the levels were really challenging early on.
The bosses were ridiculously difficult, but you figured out, bombs clear.
Yeah, clear
level. So if you use a bomb, it clears the bullets. And so at the bosses, we would just alternate using bombs.
Yeah,
and
that way we wouldn't run out.
Since it just gives you a ton of power-ups, you would get bombs back.
Yeah, and when you lost a life, you came back with bombs.
With bombs, yeah.
So yeah, it was, every now and then you're just like, well, I die, I get bombs, and then I bomb the boss. So the game was, graphically speaking,
I don't think it was bad.
No, I think the graphics were totally fine for
They put a lot of
vertical
detail in
shmup.
the ships. The more power-ups you get, your looks of your ship actually upgrade with it.
I was going to say that. It's a nice change. They put that attention to detail into the ships actually kind of upgrade as you upgrade. Sound, the music was solid.
Mm-hmm.
The sound otherwise was nothing to write home about. It was just lots of gun blasts and explosions. Yeah, but the music was pretty decent.
The music was okay.
Gameplay, the controls were smooth. Like you said, the levels were difficult for a little bit, but the key to this was once you kind of figured out where you needed to be on screen and your weapons were fully powered up, your bullets covered the screen.
There are two types of weapons. There's the laser weapon and then the weapon that we always have, which is the spread weapon, and
the laser weapon
covers the entire screen, basically.
The laser weapon does more damage, but it's such a focused fire. Like, once we realized we could, spread the screen, we just flew through the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, and we can kill everything.
In one day, didn't
we? We did. Yeah. We beat it in one night. I will say this to it. One of my friends really recently asked me, after having played this, what's a good two-player game for him to play with a 6-year-old? And I said, you know what? I go, it's going to be a little frustrating for them because they're going to die. I said, but Raiden Trad is good for the fact that it's co-op. And if you can convince them to not fly around too crazy and get them upgraded, you can just kind of float them through the levels. And then they can get to the end of the game, beat it, and be super excited they beat a game, and you were able to play with them, and you kind of helped them out along the way.
Then we didn't even play it on its easiest mode, so...
We played on, semi-easy or something, didn't we? Yeah, so this is weird. I had, an easy and sort of easy, but we did play it on
started on medium, and
it smoked us in, 3 seconds. But Raiden Trad, I gave a thumb up.
I gave it a thumbs up as well.
So 2 thumbs up for Raiden Trad. So that is our 5 games for Week Cap number 8.